You wake up and reach for your phone. No buzzing, no news feed. The icons are frozen on a blank screen. You fumble for Wi-Fi. Nothing. You assume it's your carrier. You check your laptop. No connection. Your world narrows. No selfies, no stories, no endless scroll. At first, it feels like a power outage for attention. Relief flutters. Then the panic trickles in. Messaging apps fail. You can't text the person you love across town. Socials go silent. Streaming boxes turn to static. Google, gone. Maps won't load. You are suddenly blind to millions of small conveniences. Your routine falters. Every tiny plan becomes a question. Where do you go? Who do you tell? How do you prove something happened? Silence grows heavy. You feel it in your chest. You are not prepared. You step outside. On the street, faces are lit not by screens but by confusion. People crowd storefronts looking for answers. Nearby, a cafe tilts into disorder. Their card machines are dead. You dig for cash you forgot you had. Lines snake. Cash registers whisper their last analog breaths. Retailers lock doors. Supply trucks stall. Warehouses go quiet. Your grocery delivery never arrives. You check your bank app. It won't open. At the ATM, a message blinks. System unavailable. Banks are not just apps, they're networks humming in the background. Without the web, transactions hang in limbo. Cards decline, payrolls miss, automatic bills compile into unpaid lists. A business that was just a few clicks away from thriving is suddenly a skeleton of spreadsheets and unanswered emails. You hear sirens in the distance. Not all can pause. Hospitals, logistics, stock exchanges move on momentum, but need the web to steer. Momentum falters. Hospitals lose cloud backups. Electronic health records flicker between accessible and gone. You picture intensive care units tethered to machines and an absence of remote monitoring. Radiology images are stuck on local servers. Pharmacy inventories are frozen in transit. Doctors switch to paper. They improvise. Nurses sprint with clipboards. But medicine is a choreography built with instant data. A wrong dosage, a delayed prescription, a missed allergy flag, mistakes creep in. Air traffic control leans on secondary systems. Planes don't simply fall from the sky. They circle, wait, and reroute with slower handshakes. International coordination degrades. A diplomat cannot email a clarification. A port authority can't ping a ship's arrival. Containers pile up at docks. Perishable goods rot. A shipment of vaccines waits on a key. Your phone cannot tell you where the truck is. You are starving for contact. Family members are unreachable. No quick video call. You become painfully aware of how fragile familiar threads are when the net that held them tightens and frays. Online creators log on and find their livelihoods erased. A streamer's audience is literally offline. A teacher's entire semester vanishes into silence. Students sit in dark rooms with printed assignments no one can submit. You watch a generation that never lived without constant connection. Try to reenact old rituals. Phone calls, letters, face-to-face check-ins. Awkward and earnest. You remember neighborhoods where people knew names. You relearn that a phone call requires an actual exchange of resources, towers, switches, engineers. Those engineers are suddenly in high demand. Paper maps reappear on dashboards. Radio becomes a lifeline. Community boards fill with handwritten notices. You realize how much of modern life was an invisible thread. Security systems falter. Smart locks default to manual. Cameras store footage locally, but remote monitoring dies. Cities lose a layer of surveillance that had become both comfort and control. Power grids strain. They are designed with networked balancing systems. Without real-time data, operators revert to conservative limits. Blackouts ripple. Cashless economies, once touted as progressive, show their brittle side. You watch protests form slower because organizing is harder. But when people gather, they gather for real. Rumors spread in human voices. Mistrust grows. Conspiracy finds oxygen. Without the algorithms to moderate flow, misinformation becomes an analog wildfire. You must think critically in real time. You must talk. Yet amid the chaos, new things stir. Street corners hum back to life. Libraries open their doors as if to say, remember, learning was always a room. Neighbors barter not because they want to reclaim a fantasy of self-sufficiency, but because logistics are immediate now. Small businesses that relied on foot traffic find a second wind. Local radio offers schedules and reassurance. Fishermen and farmers return to rhythms keyed by weather and season, not by trending demand. Workshops fill with hands again. Skills you assumed obsolete, sewing, carpentry, map reading, become valuable. You learn to read the sky, the smell of leaking fuel, the tone in someone's voice. Children learn patience on a scale their screens never required. You reconnect over meals instead of feeds. A kind of presence returns. It is slower, messier, real. People who hadn't met face to face in years stand awkwardly in line and start talking. That human noise is unfamiliar and strangely comforting. And still, the stakes are enormous. Economies wobble. Hospitals adapt, but never fully recover their lost efficiencies. Innovation slows. Scientific collaborations lag without instant access to shared data sets. Governments hold emergency meetings in rooms filled with paper and people. Military communication falls back to older protocols. Some states tighten controls, others decentralize. You watch power shift in unpredictable ways. The wealthy still have advantages: offline backups, private networks, caches of supplies. Inequality deepens in the short term, but in the public squares you see resilience seed. Communities that once existed as likes and follows become neighborhoods again. You begin to evaluate what was convenience and what was dependence. You begin to measure risk differently. You are left with a paradox. The internet built a web of efficiencies that made life larger and faster. It also centralized fragile systems and centralized power. In its absence, systems break, brutally, chaotically. But something else returns too. Face-to-face conversations, local economies, hands that fix things. You learn the cost of both loss and regained presence. You learn that systems can be rebuilt differently. You learn that humans are both brittle and stubbornly adaptive. If the internet disappeared tomorrow, would humanity collapse or rediscover how to live without constant connection?